Yes. Greetings, this is Kal Kat, the Kal Katster, and this is an update of. I guess this is an update for channel. Just this channel 2, the reviews channel, because they're doing the talking pointless kind of thing. Mainly that's over there, so I'll go over there. Yeah. It has been 2 months since. Well, over 2 months. May and June, yeah, it's been over 2 months, almost 3 months since the Channel Awesome scandal, and I just thought I would chime in yet again on that. I did not, well, it's not associated with them in any way. There was we would occasionally exchange commentary barbs on the commentary stuff, but nothing was official. I was not getting any one of the content creator things or anything like that. Wasn't involved. I'm on the West Coast. They're in the middle of the Midwest. But yeah, they're not associated with the Kal Kat channels. Still subscribe to the remainder of Channel Awesome. They still have Channel Awesome, Got the Glasses Tomorrow's Never Seen, that kind of thing. And those that broke off as well, the movie nights, the Stone Gremlins, the Angry Joe rants, Angry Joe reviews, a bunch of those other guys. We still subscribe. We had not changed our opinion about subscribing to them. Yeah. So, and Linkara, we also subscribe to Top of the Fourth Wall. Doesn't mean that we're in any way associated with as a presenter or what they call a aggregate with them. We have not donated or volunteered anything, with the exception of maybe occasionally buying some of their merchandise. Yes. Anyway, there was an apology to a long thread on 2 other channels, and I looked into it since then and did a whole report on it and other reports since then. The update is that there was a 24-hour blog on Stone Gremlins Productions. I'm not going to go through all 24 hours of it, but it seemed that behind the scenes there was clearly something amiss that they didn't want to go into, and there's something over there at Channel Awesome that's amiss that they don't want to go into. That being the scandal. They don't want to go into it. Well, since I'm not associated with them, I'll go into it. Basically there was a 72-page scandal sheet thing written discussing some of the presenters, some of the content creators they call them. These are volunteers that do not necessarily get paid. If they get paid for anything, it's under the table. Yeah, so they don't get paid. Being unfairly treated on the set of some of their anniversary specials, and many years ago, at least 7 years ago, on their content on a particular special where somebody was alleging harassment occurred and also unfair treatment regarding somebody that needed surgery. The response, it wasn't related. The response that they gave in April indicated that some of those people were not there anymore. One of them was dead, so they really can't be at fault if they're dead. And the other one might have been a vindictive character who might spread rumors and dissent just because she didn't like them very much. It's an ex girlfriend of one of the characters. I don't know who they are. I'm not going to name names. It's because I don't know who they are. You can go look that up on there. It's actually posted on the Channel Awesome Google site if you're interested. But since then, since April, they continue to post content on Channel Awesome. It is evident from looking at this content on Channel Awesome, even up to reviews of current films, up till they did a review of Hotel Transylvania 2, in fact, and they did reviews of some of these other ones, that it's clear that Doug and Rob Walker, two of the main characters, really want to say something but can't. So they're like, and that goes with that other review. They can't say something, and they're not going to. Not because there's a gag order, because that doesn't make sense, and not because one of the content creator persons said no. That's not it. It's just that they can't. Well, they don't really want to. They don't want to entertain the people that are actually vindictive and the people that aren't. I know that doesn't really say much, but that's what I gathered from the stories. Yeah, so they are keeping it, although it does bother them, because you can tell. You look at the videos from late April on, you can tell that they are very uptight, that their videos are lagging in the comedy department and also content department. So one of those people was let go. One of those people that creates the visuals and things and costuming and all that, and some of the other people were let go and they're not there anymore. They're still doing business as Channel Awesome and Nostalgia Critic. They have not changed their brand. They said they were going to change the brand, but they've changed is the content creators reflective thing. They have 7 or 8 people still there doing content, but those others have left to do their own thing. Phelan would be included in there too, but I think he's still sort of associated. The other half has formed sort of a Stone Gremlins / Linkara / Phelan / other site. So the guys in Illinois, the guys in Chicago, have their own little separate sort of reunion thing going on with that 12-hour thing they did. And a lot of them were in that. So they're not completely broken apart, despite the rumors to the contrary. They are still going. They have over 1 million subscribers, and that means they're going to survive. And yeah. So okay, fine. It sucks that some of their creators who they have let go. They've let go of these 2 people were unfair and unjust and let them go. They're gone. They just don't want to say it, or they can't. There probably isn't an official lawsuit because they're not an official company. They're a web aggregate. And I don't think that if they have any contracts are binding in any way. But they just can't. I'm sure they would like to come out and have a scene in which to be ironic, if not more so, or to be altruistic a little bit. They like to be altruistic. To explain themselves. That would be nice. I think maybe after, it's been 2 months, any day now, they should come out. If not, then I'm not going to hear from them. It would be interesting to know what they are saying at conventions, because then we would know. But we're not going to know, I guess. So they don't owe the internet trolls apology. They owe the people that they screwed over there. Wasn't me. That had nothing to do with it. That's kind of the same point that we were earlier, although it's clearly in effect. They also, Tamara Chambers, one of the current people, was going to close one of her channels, possibly as a result of the other stuff going on. That doesn't mean she's leaving, though. She's closing one channel. So there was some confusion as to, like, some of them going like, no, we're totally, look, some of them are leaving right now. It's like, nope. No, her old channel was, yeah, but she didn't close it, turns out. Yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna start something else now. Okay, I'm using this cell phone to put videos on it because it looks prettier. Um. Okay. This news is hardly news. I don't know. I think I've already mentioned the bizarre internet backlashes and things. Channels going down. I don't think Dovtastic is back. That campaign didn't work to bring them back. Uh, but yeah, they're still complaining about Star Wars. And is Star Wars really broken? I don't think it is. I think that even though we've declared some sort of a truce with those that really didn't like The Last Jedi over at the church and can continue Starship Locations planning at this point, because it has nothing to do with Star Wars. But yeah, and that's the storybooks there have nothing to do with it, so they're going along. Can't really say anything on that yet either, which is you can't say anything on that. And that is something. There's an alt-right movement that has decided to brand as pejorative the social justice warriors, and then they go out and complain. They're not the main Star Wars base. They're fringe people that have hijacked the liberal internet. They've hijacked YouTube, and they're really loud. But they are not, yeah, main people. And there is no way that Disney and Lucasfilm is going to listen to them and fire Kathleen Kennedy. It's not going to happen. They're not going to do that. They're not sad about it. These people that have hijacked parts of the internet are sad about it. Ironically, they're being the very snowflakes they're claiming the left is. They should just, stop. Because they're not gaining any brownie points by doing it. So stop with the Star Wars like there wasn't a boycott of Last Jedi that caused Solo to suck. Solo just came out at the wrong time. Should have come out a month later. Should have come out the way they wanted it, I guess. That would have been better. But it didn't. And it's still playing a little bit. I think it might break even eventually, if it still continues to be playing. It's an okay movie. It's fine. I think the trouble with the Last Jedi, I guess, was that some fans did not like the various ways in which it appeared. They just kind of said, "We'll ignore what Abrams said." I've been over that before. So has Mark's Cards, and suffice it to say, all of their complaints aren't complaints. There was other people that went on about all. There's other people that wrote articles for magazines and online magazines, mainly online magazines, all online magazines, complaining about the whole thing, and some of them complaining why. Some of them, of course, complained for the other side. Some of them complained. Some of them had the same opinion that Mark's Cards and I did, and they posted it. They were like, okay, this is why this movie is actually brilliant. That's why it works. And their heads were immediately chewed off by these fake alt-right websites. Especially that article that I think was a Variety online article where it was somebody just pointed out that Rain Johnson's story is basically hitting all the points the other ones did. And there's really nothing bad about that, other than it seemed to subvert expectations, as they kept saying. But it didn't really, because Abrams left a mystery box with the first one. He does that a lot. and like, the sticking points were, the main one was Luke Skywalker was not acting like Luke Skywalker from the past. Mark's Cards just said last Thursday, reiterating, they probably wanted Luke Skywalker to be this butt-kicking Jedi super emperor leading the rebellion thing and all that. But that's not what happened in The Force Awakens. He wasn't even in it. So clearly something bad happened. Implied, okay, Kylo Ren rose to power and something bad happened. He had to kick him out. That's in there. That's in The Force Awakens. That's in the mystery box. If Luke Skywalker was instantly powerful, then it's not interesting. And he's 35 years older, so no, he's gonna be different. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. It's a little screwed up that he drank the blue milk out of that alien manatee's tit. But then, and chucked the lights. So what if you chucked the lightsaber? She got it back. It's like, at the end, they get him using Force Ghost powers, and they get the ending they want. They get him being like sort of a super powered thing, and he brushes off the laser blast and all that. So they get that. So did they forget that part? And also I had said, like, well, General Holdo isn't going to tell Finn or Rey, or not Finn, Poe or anyone else what the plan is because they're about the spies on board. Sure. That makes sense. I didn't think that's in that scene with the ship and the warp speed and all that. That was good. Silly, but it's Star Wars. They have porgs. They have talking robot androids. So, so what? And then they have, Rey's parentage. Ooh. If they were paying attention to The Force Awakens, that is not subverting expectations. She's a nobody in the first one. She's allegedly a nobody here. Like, sort of like Luke, but Mary Sue version. You know what it is? Mark's Cards nailed it. You know what it is? They just don't like women in movies, in shows. They don't want women ruining their shows. That's what they're complaining about. They're sexist. That's what it is. It's absolutely what it is. They've never had a date. Those people that are complaining, and they're like, I don't like women at all. I just don't want them to be successful and empowered and stuff. Like, no, it's not going to work. Kathleen Kennedy, I think I've been over this before. Yeah. They're not going to fire her. Why would they? It's Lucas's right-hand person. I mean, Spielberg back in the day. So why would they do that? It's just no. They're not going to kowtow to the right-winger guys because they're very liberal at Disney. Yeah. So, yes. So that's the thing, and this is a Super Bowl. Yeah. Yeah. So the movie's not subverting anything. It really isn't if you just think about it for half a second. Some people have said, no, I watched it again and again, and it really doesn't make sense. Did they remember Return of the Jedi? There was a Star Wars movie, but there were parts of that didn't make any sense. The Ewoks had powers to destroy the walkers. Come on. But we suspend disbelief. We say, okay, fine. Some of these complainers might be my age or a little younger, but it's like I didn't mind it. I thought it was cool. It's like, yeah, I would have written a story very similar to Episode 8 if I'd written one of those stories. Very similar. Probably would have toned down the angst a little bit. I didn't really care about Snoke, so when he died, the character, I was like, they weren't going to go anywhere with him anyway. But I'm gonna make a Star Wars prediction though. The last movie will be subtitled the First Order. That'll be the subtitle of Episode 9, and we will find out in the First Order that that's my prediction. Get a guess. Something like the First Order. You have the Force Awakens, the Last Jedi, and the First Order. Kylo Ren is sort of going to act good, even though he's not, to try and win Rey's trust. there's going to be another betrayal, but it's going to be more lighthearted because it's the third chapter. It's going to be revealed that because Abrams is going to fix his mystery box, that her parents, although relatively unknown, were vaguely important to the Jedi Order that was disbanded when Kylo ran away. That's going to happen. He's going to reveal that he knew them, and since he's like 10 years older than her or something like that, he's older. He's not his sister. It's not his sister or anything. It's stupid. They already did that. He is not related to them, but Leia knows that there's some connection with the Force and all that. Ooh. Yes, and it'll take place about 3 or 4 years after the other two, and they'll just say in the end credits that Princess Leia died, natural causes, because they don't want to go there. So that's what they'll do. That's the prediction. I don't know. But that's and it'll be more lighthearted and more like the Solo movie. It's not gonna. They're not gonna just do a 360 and 180 or whatever and do some other thing just because a bunch of annoyed fans said so. It was not the diehard fans that reacted to it. It was this like subclass of them. So going on about SJW, Star Wars, because they've never had a date. That's what it is. They just they don't understand women and don't want to. because to understand the fair sex captain, one must first have sisters that are older than you. No, also, it's like if you have a story where it's a female director, it tends to not have an ultimate conclusion. Tends to be about the feeling of it rather than the conclusion of it. Get a man director tends to want to just have the hero show up and kick ass. Breaking the mold with Wonder Woman, they had both of that. A lady kicking ass, and that didn't seem to bother them very much. Oddly enough, they weren't bothered by that movie, by Wonder Woman DC movie. I think it might be DC trolls that were mad that their version of they snuck over to the Lucasfilm people to complain. So that's my theory. And my other theory is they can't get a date. That's all it was. They're just too misogynistic and they just can't get a date. So, well, that's on them. Yep. They didn't want to hear that. Chimera told them that too. That's on them. Over there at the Trek Core site, some people agreed, some didn't. That's okay. It's their opinion. So, that's my Star Wars rant. Yeah, there's certainly nothing else other than, Sure. Yeah, so I don't think that the people that were complaining are necessarily their top fans or anything like that. And have any effect on them. They're going to keep all the characters in place. The parentage stuff was added later. Luke is your father and all that stuff. The original Star Wars story, they weren't going to even say. Empire added that, but they weren't going to say. They didn't really know. Lucas had written half a movie for the sequel with notes, and Kasdan and them came back and rewrote it, added to it, the Luke, I'm your father. But originally, they didn't know. In fact, they thought Luke and Leia were like boyfriend and girlfriend, and they had him kiss. Like, yay, and then they're all like, oh, sister. What? Yeah, they did. Yeah, that was a little awkward. But yeah, And it makes sense that his hand could get cut off and he'd be hanging from the bottom of Cloud City by one hand in the rescue. That makes sense. Yeah. They complain about it not making sense, and then there's other movies where the greatest Star Wars movie ever, that was Empire, the ending doesn't make any sense. So there you go. No, Star Wars blasphemer. But what about that other show, which soggy? What about The Purge, which was a ripoff of The Return of the Archons from Star Trek? In Battle Royale. The director said so. Anyway, and Battle Royale. And The Hunger Games. Yeah, so. Anyway, so yeah, that's not Star Wars, but basically is The Last Jedi. The Last Jedi may end up being a video hit. Might end up being better than they claim it. Didn't it make a lot of